Let's make knitting machine shrugs. If you've got a circular knitting machine big enough to make a tube that you can fit your arm through, then you can make a shrug today. I used my Addi king size 46 needle machine for the slouchy green shrug, and I used this cute 32 needle mushroom machine for the purple shrug. Just as important as the machine is the yarn you use, and these two are the chunkiest yarns that I could get my machines to work with. I'll link to them below, but just know that not all machines tolerate the same yarns, so just be sure to use a yarn on the thicker side that you know your machine likes. If you've already got the basics of circular knitting machines down, you can go ahead and crank out this shrug with the measurements you see here. I made the small medium size, so what I did was work in a tube for 20 inches, then I cast off 3 stitches and switched to working flat for 18 inches. Then I cast those 3 back on to resume working in a tube for another 20 inches. And that's it! You can do the cuffs and bind-offs of your choice, and I chose to leave mine with the stockinette curl. So now I'm going to show you how I made it. I went ahead and cast on with waste yarn, just doing the under-over technique to get a few rounds of waste yarn going. Now I'm switching to my main color by placing my tail between my first and last needle. Catching it up under the first needle as I hold those tails and start my first round. I like to crank nice and slow my first round just to make sure all those stitches catch. And I take some extra care at the color change to assure that the previous stitches get all the way down onto their pegs. And now I can just start cranking. Like I mentioned, 20 inches for the small/medium size. You can measure as you go on the machine, but I find that that isn't very accurate because of how the stitches are stretched on the machine. So for me, I did a little swatch ahead of time to see how many rounds/rows I had in 4 inches. Then I cross-multiplied that to find how many rows I needed for 20 and 18 inches. You can follow this math too for your gauge, so you can just count your rows like me instead of having to measure on the machine. As my shrug grows, I like to kind of wind it up and plop it back into the middle of the machine so it doesn't get all twisted up. Then when I finished my 20 inches worth of rows, I tried to bind off the 3 stitches to start working back and forth in flat panels, but I didn't really like how I did it. It didn't really work for giving instructions to other people. So let's fast forward to me working up a little swatch to better demonstrate how to bind off in the middle of the project. So if you've knit flat panels on a circular machine before, you know that 3 needles are left empty from cranking back and forth. So I'm going to bind off these 3 here. The middle one is my white starting needle. I'm going to start to bring the first bind off needle towards me and take my working yarn out of the feeder, making sure my last needle knits. I'll crank until that first bind off stitch is live. Once the needle goes down into the machine, that stitch on the pegs is live. And I'm using my tapestry needle here just to take it off the pegs. I want to put it on a crochet hook. Then I can take my working yarn and pull it through the loop on my crochet hook. Again, I'll crank until the next needle goes down. Pop that stitch off and onto my crochet hook. And I can pull my working yarn through both of the loops on my hook. One more time, I'll get a stitch on my hook. And pull my working yarn through both loops. And now what I need to do is get that loop on my crochet hook onto this needle here that's about to knit. I'm going to push my loop down onto the pegs so that it will knit together with the stitch that's already here. I kind of tightened everything up by tugging on my working yarn, And the last thing I need to do is make sure the yarn gets up under the needle to knit. The needle was already a little too far down to make that happen, so I cranked back ever so slightly, just so he'd come up enough that I could get my working yarn under the little hook part of the needle. Then I can pop it back into the yarn feeder, and we're ready to start working on a flat panel. When I crank over to my first bound off needle, I'm going to crank just until the last needle goes down into the machine. And I find I get the cleanest results when I make sure my working yarn slides under this little pink guide as well. Then I can crank in the other direction. The last stitch on the flat panels here sometimes doesn't want to slide all the way down the needle, so I make sure to do that by hand. Again, crank just until the last needle knits. Help my working yarn under the guide, and then I can crank back the other way. And now you can keep flat paneling until you reach the length for your size. I'm going to pretend my little swatch here reached its 18 inches, and I'm going to cast on to start working in a tube again. I'm going to do an E-wrap cast on with the 3 empty needles. With your working yarn, wrap around the needle and push that wrap down onto the pegs. I know the yarn feeder was kind of in the way there, but I'll move my camera and you'll see it on the next one. But first I'm going to wrap the same needle again, this time keeping that loop high on the needle, and the high loop will go down into the machine. Again, wrap to get a loop on the pegs. And wrap to knit. I can put my yarn back in the feeder, and just like that, I'm ready to work in the round again. Those E-wrap stitches will need some help coming down on the pegs, but after that it should be smooth cranking. To finish up my next 20 inches. And I'll also go back to the footage of me knitting my actual shrug. And at the end of the project, I'll change to my waste yarn and crank out some rounds. I did a lot of waste yarn rows just so I could crank it off the machine, and I'm not worried about it unraveling or anything. But if that makes you nervous, feel free to bind off however you'd like. Now I'll show you how I finished off the sleeves. So you can examine where your tails are, and you'll see 2 staggered purl bumps of your main color. The one closest to your project is the first stitch of that final round. So I'm going to turn it around and get my large crochet hook in there. And you can use your tail or a new yarn, just pull a loop through. Insert under the next purl bump. Pull up a loop, and pull it through the loop on your hook. Essentially slip stitching across every stitch of that last round. And I like to finish off by working under my first stitch before fastening off and unraveling my waste yarn. Do the same thing on the other side, and you will have to cut the waste yarn off on the cast-on side. And the sleeve is done! Of course, this is just one way to finish a knitting machine edge. I like that it naturally curls, but I encourage you to check out other options as well. So that's my quick knitting machine shrug pattern. It would work for hand knitting too. The 46 needle machine made such a slouchy, cozy shrug with a lot of back coverage, so it's really warm too. With the smaller machine, it was like a whole different pattern. Kind of like arm warmers that don't fall down. If you make a shrug inspired by my video, tag me wherever you are because I want to see how these look with all different yarns. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!